Okay, so this was bad. And not only the performance by the Indiana Fever, which stunk too, but also the refs. Now, I've watched a few games. I've heard complaints. I've seen Caitlin Clark get frustrated in post-game conferences, especially after the last game. But it was blatant. It was blatant. I even wrote in my notes way before Chrissy Sides took a tech. Chrissy Sides should get a tech. It was around 30 seconds before they showed her on the sideline telling the ref something went on with Aaliyah Boston. She was showing the underhook. Flat out, she should have got the tech earlier. That's when it affects the game. That's when it can impact the way it's called for the rest of the game and put it on the forefront of everybody's minds. But she did eventually get one, and Caitlin Clark even had to clap it up for her for getting one, which is kind of embarrassing. That's a way of saying finally. That's Caitlin Clark's nice way of saying about damn time. But that's neither here nor there. The rest of my notes, just through the first half and some of the third quarter. All right. Nalissa Smith does not screen. I'm not sure if that's part of the coaching. She's very good at slipping the screens. Very, very good. I wish Aaliyah Boston had some of that in her. But as far as setting the screens, not very well. She doesn't set them very well at all. Even on the off-ball actions, she just kind of goes through the motion a little bit. She needs to set those with a little bit more intent, like we discussed earlier in the season. For those who saw that video, team can't shoot worth a crap. I'll say, team can't shoot worth a damn. That's what I wrote in the first half, mind you. They did pick it up a little bit in the second half, but way too many open shots. And we'll get to some of those. Refs don't call for CC. This was in the first quarter. And, we saw how that played out. Team really can't shoot for it. I went back to that. Team really can't shoot worth a damn. All right. Why can't Celeste play? The team was missing everything. Obviously, we were having defensive problems out there. She's supposed to be a defensive player. If the team's not going to shoot well or can't defend at some point, why don't you just try something else? Not even saying she's the best option out there, but try something else when what you've tried has not worked, clearly. I hate Kelsey Mitchell's little scoop layups with a passion. And it might just be my bias against 5'9" players. And I know I said that they need to extend her, and I'm not moving off of that, and we'll get to that in a second as well. But those layups in particular, I don't like them. I like floaters with more conviction or a strong finish or a pull-up jump shot or pass the ball. Those little scoop, I can do without ever seeing another one of those for the rest of my life. No man's land. For those who don't know that terminology, that's on defense. When as opposed to just staying to your man who's a shooter or going down with a hard double team and like actually causing some duress on the player with the ball, you just kind of take a half step or 2.5 steps over to where you're not double teaming or you're not defending your man. And I've seen that happen way too many times where they kind of just meander over and investigate. You have to either run into the fire or you have to stay in the car. Stay home with your man and well, stay home with the person you're defending, your woman in this case, and guard that three. Too many times they get caught in between, not double teaming, not staying home, and just watching the pass go over their head and oh, he shot another three. Well, yeah, you didn't do anything. You just kind of got in the middle of the action there. Pick a side. Double team or stay home. All right. CC's got heart. Let's go, CC. That's my other note. That's when she got into it with Vivian. I got into it, but had the little exchange with Vivian after she hit that three. I like to see that fire. Let's go, CC. Talk your ish. That's what I wrote. Mac. Now we'll skip that one about McBecker. Skylar Diggins is annoying. Very annoying. First play of the game, she's run it back. Plays later, run it back, walking around all fast like she wants to speak to the manager. I don't like it. I don't like the way she walks back to the bench during timeouts, all fast, ahead of her team. She's annoying. I wrote that. All right, so halftime. All right. Said I was gonna keep an eye on Kelsey Mitchell this game. Dribbled the hell out the ball. Pounded the rock. But nobody could shoot worth a damn. So I get it. I understand when the only two players who out there are producing, well, it was three this time, you have to force it a little bit. You kind of get outside of yourself when you see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 missed open jumpers. That's when you tend to press, and that's when things start to go awry for you. So at the time, at halftime, she was 4 for 9 on field goals. 1 for 2 for three. She had 3 assists and 10 points. That's not a bad half. Even after she dribbled the hell out the ball and messed up a few possessions, I can live with all of that. I don't see her aggression as jealousy of CC. I see it more as, like I said, just pressing a little bit, the whole missing training camp and practice, and being one of the only players out there that can actually make something happen off of the dribble besides Caitlin Clark. I think with other players on the floor who can actually do things they're supposed to be doing, she wouldn't be pressing so hard on some of those possessions. She'd move the rock, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm sticking with extending her, re-signing her. All right. At halftime, Wallace 0. Berger. Everybody's been calling for Berger. 10 minutes. She did have 2 points. Nice defense, a little bit. Everybody was blown right by her, but had a little fight to it still. Hall, donut. Kelsey Mitchell hit her. Everybody said she doesn't pass. Kelsey Mitchell went to the rack, found Hole, naked in the corner. Don't make it weird. That means wide open. Rick, can't miss those. It set the tone for a bad half. Samuelson, donut. She got going in the second half, but first half, we got 4 players there with 2 points combined. And that's why I wrote, at this point, why can't Celeste? At least she can maybe hold some defense if she doesn't get any offense. But we're not even going to try it. So whatever. I'm off of that campaign. All right. That's the last time I mentioned it. Third quarter, new sheet. Came out of halftime with no adjustments. They thought they were going to go right back to Melissa Smith as if the Storm weren't going to adjust. And they shut it down immediately. I mean, she scored maybe 5 more points in the second half. They shut that down immediately, and that's when the league kind of ballooned. They came out with no adjustments, no kind of spark or fight, no spunk. That was bad. Boston has horrible defensive instincts, and I can say this as someone who is a master at the 2-on-1 defensive drill. Like, the number one, the perimeter defenders have to stop letting people just get by them so easily and stop putting her in this position over and over and over again. Let me start with that. But when she does get in that position, she steps up to help, and the ball handler just passes right past her to her man. Now there is no rotation help. You got to help the helper. Got to have some rotation for her too. But still, it shouldn't be that easy. You should be able to step up with one hand and still, swipe at the pass, make it a tough pass, kind of get back and get a hand up for the person. It's just too easy for the ball handler to drive right at her and just make the pass, and then it's a layup. There's no fight on that. Bad defensive instincts in those 2-on-1 situations, in my opinion, or maybe just too slow to do both, to show and get back. She is setting a lot more solid screens. I do like that. Setting more solid screens. Takes her forever to get going into the roll and can't stop. It's gonna get a charge every single game on that pick and roll, especially when the pass comes, on that second step. Cannot stop on a dime. Hamstrings not tight enough for something. That's the brakes, right? The hamstrings. Yeah, got to tighten up the brakes. Um, she's almost at a disadvantage when the smaller players down there because they can just get in her way, and she's falling all over the place and them, and they're gonna get the whistle every time. I don't like unathletic athletes at all. Like 6'5" for what? If you don't block any shots and you're consistently getting blocked, 6'5" for what? Now, I'm not gonna pile on. But yeah, need some lift, need some breaks, and that's that. Caitlin, she played all but 4 seconds. That's the good here. That's the good because we've been complaining about all the times that Caitlin goes out the game and the lead just balloons for the other team, or the lead that they may have just goes away. She played all but 4 seconds. We can't be mad at an adjustment that we asked for. So that happened. If we still see that happening going forward, that's a good thing. So Samuelson got it going towards the end of the game. It didn't really affect the game much at that point, but if she can carry that over, because she will be getting the minutes unless they make a personnel move for the deadline. But Coach Sides, the tech, it came too late, but I mean, it came, I guess. I'm not really going to clap up for something that should have happened 2 games ago, but trying to find some kind of silver lining behind the clouds, because damn it, it's a lot of clouds. Storm, if you will. That's really all. That's really all that the positives that I have. Besides Kaylin, she played efficient. She didn't turn the ball over. 20-9. They're gonna keep coming in losses, so people are gonna keep downplaying it like it's nothing. But there's not many players in the league that's gonna keep consistently being able to do things that she's doing, especially facing traps. Her teammates actually should take it personally every single time that someone traps off of them. I would. You're not gonna just keep leaving me. My defender just keeps leaving me to hold somebody else. I'm gonna take it as disrespect and start making you pay for it. But until they do, that's what she's going to face. Or until they bring in somebody who is going to take that person and can make them pay, that's what she's going to face. So pretty crazy to see her still putting up the numbers that she is. Bad game. Next game against the Sky. Yeah. Camilla, that's going to be a matchup nightmare. She didn't just lead South Carolina to the championship. She also led Brazil to the gold medal over USA. And that team had everybody, all of our favorites. Rakia Jackson, Brink, all the players were there. So that's going to be tough. She's going to wreak havoc on the league. Going to be fun to see what she can do against everybody, not just the Fever. But that's all I got for you guys. It was a tough one, as you can see. Rough night for me all around. Sparks, Fever. I'm going to bed. I'll see y'all tomorrow.